Meanwhile, across the globe, Russia and Ukraine swapping hundreds of prisoners in a major exchange today. But despite the diplomacy, Russia's not letting up, overnight launching a large-scale drone and missile attack on Kyiv. Ukrainian officials say 10 Ukrainians have been killed, 44 injured in strikes throughout the country. The two sides still not signaling that they're close to a ceasefire after more than 3 years of war. Meantime, in the Middle East, the Trump administration could be getting closer to a breakthrough with Iran. American officials say that they made more progress in their fifth round of nuclear talks. Foreign correspondent Marcus Moore joins me now with our Worldview Roundup. Marcus, thank you so much for being here. Let's start with Russia and Ukraine. What's the latest on the strikes and that prisoner swap?
Well, hey, Gio, a significant day today. You know, both countries have agreed to exchange 1,000 prisoners each. And this morning, more than 300 people were exchanged. And just yesterday, nearly 400 people were freed in this negotiated exchange between the two countries. But as we watch this situation develop, a violent war is still unfolding. Overnight and this morning, massive drone and airstrikes were underway in parts of Ukraine, including the capital of Kyiv. Ukraine's Air Force said Russia launched more than a dozen ballistic missiles and 250 Shahed drones overnight, and 17 people were injured in Kyiv alone, with damage reported to residential buildings and infrastructure in several areas. And Gio, in other parts of the region, 2 people were killed and others injured in Kherson following Russian strikes. Ukraine has carried out strikes in Russia, including drone attacks that injured 3 people in Lipetsk and also the Tula region. So it is clear that this war is still raging, and efforts to reach a ceasefire have so far failed. Ukraine's President Zelensky has said Vladimir Putin is trying to drag out this war and really doesn't want peace. Gio.
Marcus, let's turn to Iran now, because President Trump said this week that negotiations, they're close to a nuclear deal potentially. What do we know about the talks that are happening in Rome on Friday?
Gio, still no breakthrough at this point, but U.S. officials said that these talks lasted for over 2 hours and they were both direct and indirect, and that progress was made. In fact, Iran's foreign minister has indicated that the meeting in Rome went well, calling it one of the most professional rounds of negotiations they've had to date, but still no breakthrough. But they did discuss various ideas, and they have agreed, Gio, to meet once again in the coming days. As you know, the U.S. and other countries have been working to curb Iran's accelerating nuclear enrichment program. Iran, meanwhile, saying they will continue to enrich uranium.
And Marcus, there's so many headlines that are still happening in Gaza as well. The Hamas-run Ministry of Health says that Israeli strikes have killed at least 79 people over the last day. Is a ceasefire a possibility at this point?
You know, there's the hope, and that's what people have right now. All they really have at this point is the hope that there could be some type of ceasefire. As you just mentioned, we've heard from the health ministry in Gaza saying that in the past 24 hours, at least 79 people have been killed in Gaza. This is a result of airstrikes on the Gaza Strip. And in the meantime, Gio, the humanitarian situation there remains dire as they try to get more aid into the region.
Marcus Moore there in London. Marcus, thank you so much for your reporting here.